Hey guys, chesypoof here. I figured I'd give you some of my impressions of the PSV, or the PlayStation Vita as everybody else wants to call it. And for me it's just the PSV. So we've had it for a week now, since it's come out, and I was going to be showing you comparisons too, especially with the PSP right there. Now, it's actually in this. It's my printing case from, if you've ever played Gaia, all those strategy RPGs that started on the PlayStation 2. This was actually what I carried my PSP in until the Vita came out. I was crossing my fingers that it would fit, and it basically does. Of course, you can see there's a little bit of a slight overture out, but luckily I don't even have to get a new case for it, and it fits like that. And basically I just dusted off my old PSP case to get that out. So here we have the PSV. Oh, look at that shiny slickness. And of course you can notice some of the differences right there. You got both of the sticks there, and they barely come off the system. So I mean, it's not that much. And underneath basically is where you have the different HDMI kind of charge cable things. You have the headphone jack, and right over here is basically where you can put your PlayStation memory card, since they wanted to do proprietary software and not have micro SDs to make it easier to hack like the PlayStation Portable. Up top there you can see the little power switch where the games go, and then just the other port there with the volume. So when I turn the bad boy on, you can see how slick this screen is. And it's basically gigantic too. But you basically can end up peeling the screens away. And then from there, it's basically like any normal cell phone or iPod that you've had for the last few years now. Basically turns everything into an application, especially when it comes to things like the games. You can click on them and they have a home screen. It's the easiest way to download DLC or check out their website, and you can just go straight to it. This is where you can go if you end up seeing things like your messages, or when you're downloading something it'll go in the background. So apparently I have a message. I'm guessing it's just from my friend Curtis, since I didn't add him on there yet. Yeah. So that makes sense why that message is there now. But basically, it's all touchscreen too. So even though there's all the buttons, you basically can't do anything from the title screen or any of the main applications other than the games with all the different buttons. You have to actually, press on the screen, go to settings, other than going back. The best way to do it is just that PlayStation button. You just click on that, and it just brings it right off. And you can see all your open applications at the top. You don't want it anymore, you just peel away. And of course all the games work like normal in the sense. The D-pad, you can see right there, other than the lighting, we'll try to light it out real fast. Basically it all moves in one direction compared to the PSP, but it feels very nice and slick. The contours just go directly to your hand. Same thing with the sticks. I'm not sure if it feels better than the circle pad on the 3DS, but it feels very nice. And size comparisons, you might ask. Well, basically I have my first generation PlayStation, my PSP. So this one is a bit bigger than other people's, but that was because I had Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops case that I got even though I never played the game to protect it. So you can check out some of the comparison shots right here. you can see the screen is definitely smaller either way. Any way that you look at it. So putting them overhead, you can see how much at least longer the PSV is. And then if I were to compare them side to side, granted you have to take for granted that little extra layer that I have of that, but you can see it literally seems almost as if it's half the size. So it's definitely a little less. But so that's how it compares, at least to the portable. You can see that one, of course, just the spacing is so wide apart, and there's 4 different D-pad buttons. But this one, there is basically just the one, and it's just interconnected. But it's very slick. The PlayStation Vita cases are pretty tiny. It literally feels like a Barbie house kind of DVD case. But even seeing how small that they are, it's really weird to see that they're not smaller, because what happens when you open them, it's just the little memory cards there, and like at least the games that I have, none of them came with any kind of paper whatsoever. So there's no manual, there's no little DLC kind of codes, and you can see the little cartridges, basically the little memory cards. So it's literally like if the DS games got mixed with an SD card. That's about the size. And what happens is when you put it in the top there, it just ends up installing first, and then you can play from there. And it goes to sleep pretty fast, but it just comes up really quick as well. Some of the other good things are, I know a lot of people were talking crap about the internet browser on it, but for me, everything's gone silky smooth, real fast, everything else. You end up scrolling through the different things there. Anytime I've brought up the browser, it basically comes up instantly. One of the websites I was using it as a computer, since I don't necessarily have an iPod or iPhone next to me, and my phone's browser goes really slow, but I've been using it to visualize some of the things on Skyrim when I was trying to get through this Daedric quests. And so you can see there, look, the page is already 100% up there. And just like iPod though or anything else, it's got the multi-touch, so you can scroll in, scroll out. Oh, I heard the word Whiterun, see? And just bring it all the way back there. But it loads really fast, and it's very responsive. Of course, it's just on the Wi-Fi connection, so I haven't tried out 3G or anything yet, but internet browser works flawlessly. Definitely something that I'm going to end up using a lot more. Of course, graphics look amazing. Just bringing up Marvel vs. Capcom. I know I played through the Uncharted demo. I haven't started Uncharted by itself yet, but it looks just as nice, in my opinion, as the PS3 counterpart. So I know that the textures and things like that, it doesn't support as much as, you know, high def, but because of the size of the screen and everything else, it just works, you know. It looks that good. It looks, you know, way better than a portable DVD player or something, because it's at least high def textures in that sense. Of course, there's the back touchpad, which I haven't really had the opportunity to use too much other than like the Welcome Park stuff. And it's got 2 little grooves there that are supposed to be for your hands. It feels nice. It doesn't feel as nice as holding the Circle Pad Pro, but it feels really good to just hold. This is one of the ones where, you know, touching the front doesn't necessarily stop it, but. And so far, load times for anything hasn't felt too harsh or anything, but so you can see how fast it logs you in basically. And it brings up the little comic that you got if you had the special edition of the first one. But even though you can't necessarily see that, it literally looks like a miniature version of like the 360. So that might have been a little long, you know, but I figured I'd give you guys my take on it, and my opinion is it's definitely worth the money that it is, and the games only look like they're going to get better. Same thing with the 3DS, of course, but I've had that since launch as well. So we'll just cross our fingers that, you know, the good games keep coming out, and it shows everybody that portable systems aren't dead. Because I'd rather do that than my phone any day. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.